Hi guys, Sci-Fi Recapped here. Before we start, warning. Spoilers ahead. Today, I am gonna explain a 2022 American fantasy movie called The School for Good and Evil. Many years ago, two brothers, Rian and Raffle, created a school to keep the balance between good and evil in the fairy tale world. They kept the balance for eons, but things seldom stay that way. One time, Raffle was bored and wanted to spar with Rian. Was tired of Rian giving heroes the upper hand, he used blood magic and wanted evil to dominate. However, in Rian's attempt to defend himself, Raffle fell off a cliff and seemingly died. Years later, in Gavaldon, a friendship blossoms between Sophie and Agatha, the one obsessed with dresses and princesses, and the latter secretly inherited witchcraft from her mother. The death of Sophie's mother made them close since they were children. They are mocked by the whole village for being freaks. Villagers even threaten to burn Agatha and her family because they accuse her of being a witch, but Sophie always gets her friends back. They find comfort in Deauville's bookstore. Looking at the freshly delivered Cinderella copy, they notice an SGE, or School for Good and Evil stamp. The clerk tells them that years ago, a village girl named Leonora was wanted by the school during a red moon, was taken, and then was never heard from again. Seeing it as one of the ways to get out of the boring village, Sophie wishes to be recruited by the School for Good. She writes a letter to prove her good and noble qualities, then hangs it by the wishing tree. The next day, Agatha gets furious as Sophie wishes to get out of town, but she assures her friend she will stay. However, her promise is already granted. Just as the red moon covers the sky, Agatha discovers that her best friend is about to leave. A mysterious figure takes Sophie away, unwillingly taking Agatha as she defends her friend. They are flown by a STYMPH, or a skeleton bird, until they see the two school buildings. Agatha is dropped into the School for Good while Sophie is into the School for Evil. They believe it is a mistake. The two friends meet the dean for each of their schools, Lady Lesso of the Nevers, leading the School of Evil, and Professor Dovey of the Evers, leading the School of Good. Afterwards, the orientation program commences. As the leading school for the past 200 years, the boys from School of Good demonstrate their sword fighting skills. Prince Tedros, the son of King Arthur, gets his solo moment. He is enamored by Sophie's beauty and accidentally drops his rose onto Agatha, even though Beatrix has claimed him for himself. In the evening, Agatha escapes from her sleeping quarters to rescue Sophie. She is discovered by a Cupid who wants to punish her for exploring the ledge, then she goes inside a library. She finds Dovey and Lesso inside, arguing whether they have made the right decision on the two friends. After they leave, Raffle's spirit emerges. He warns Agatha to stay away from Sophie. Agatha dismisses the warning and continues her walk to the School of Evil. Meanwhile, Sophie is bullied by her friends. One of them, Hester, is about to drop her off the balcony when she sees Agatha. They embrace each other, then decide to follow the schoolmaster, Rian, into his tower. The schoolmaster explains that their stories have been written by the historian, who narrates fairy tales, and could not be easily changed, except if Sophie finds a true love's kiss. True love is something the evils do not possess, which will prove her innocence. Agatha and Sophie then make a mission to find true love for Sophie. The next day, they attend classes. Agatha meets Gregor during lunch, a clumsy boy who is the son of a prince, but feels like he does not belong there. Sophie comes to her and decides that Tedros is her true love, so she gives Agatha a letter to give to him. She tells her not to act weird around him. Tedros and Agatha talk, and he seems interested in her sense of humor. Then, they attend a class by Gnome Yuba in the Blue Forest, where they are introduced to dangerous plants. Gregor, who is afraid of blood, cannot stand the horror of the forest and runs away. Unfortunately, he is cursed, his spirit is taken, and he magically disappears. Agatha watches him in horror. Meanwhile, at the School of Evil, Lesso wants students to demonstrate their evil powers. Hester threatens Sophie using her fiery phoenix avatar, but Sophie is saved by Raffle's spirit in the form of a swarm of bees. Lesso takes Sophie away and warns her to not speak of his name. Meanwhile, the Evers learn about the Wish Fish, a school of fish that grants wishes. While everyone wishes for true love, Agatha wishes for everyone to find a home. The fish then transforms into a girl who failed the school 100 years ago. She dies in Agatha's arms, then STYMPH comes. She recognizes it as Gregor, but Tedros heroically kills him. Agatha punches him. In the cafeteria, Sophie finally meets Tedros. She is then punished by Lesso, who cuts her hair because she does not want to embrace her evil. Agatha confronts Tedros afterward and explains that he just killed Gregor. Sophie meets Raffle's reflection in the mirror, who convinces her that no one believes her except him. On their next meeting, Tedros is clearly drawn into Agatha, making Beatrix jealous. The students assemble to get their finger glow and unlock their magical powers. Sophie, now confident to embrace her evil identity, comes and steals everyone's attention. She gives a makeover to her never friends and makes peace with them. However, Agatha tells her that she has to be good to win over Tedros' heart. The two friends work together to charm Tedros with Sophie's archery skills. Agatha tricks the arrow to fly straight, making Sophie seem good because only an arrow of pure heart can fly straight. Tedros is enamored by her, and they begin dating. The whole school is sent into chaos as they believe an ever and never dating is not meant to be. There is only one way to settle the chaos, which is the trial by tale. Sophie and Tedros are to enter the Blue Forest from different ends at sundown. They must survive and embrace each other. Agatha, worried about Sophie, listens to her screams as she navigates the pretty but deadly flower fields and the pumpkin reaper fields. She transforms into a pigeon and saves her friend just in time. The reaper charges at them, but Tedros arrives. At some point, his sword is separated from him, falling close to Sophie. Tedros begs her to give him his sword, but she only freezes. Agatha does the job, saving all of them. Tedros believes Sophie is not truly good and bails from the trial. Sophie thinks Agatha is trying to take Tedros away from her, then she also bails. Agatha talks with Dovey. She convinces her that Raffle is the real threat. Dovey is shocked to learn that Raffle has reappeared, and then they go to confront Lesso and the other teachers. Meanwhile, Anadil brings Sophie an apology letter from Agatha. Raffle appears again, convincing Sophie that Agatha lies. He offers her blood magic, which she willingly accepts. Agatha meets with the school's teachers, and they discover Sophie is missing. Lesso and Dovey learn that Sophie has learned blood magic, while Sophie admits to them that she knows Lesso was Leonora, the missing girl from Gavaldon, who fell in love with Raffle and wanted to win his heart. Agatha goes to the ball, where she meets Tedros and asks for Sophie. Tedros does not understand why Agatha is still loyal to her friend and confesses his love to Agatha. Suddenly, Sophie appears. She curses the teachers and the school guards. Tedros and the good men take their swords to attack the evil school. As the rule states, good does not attack first, only defends. Once good attacks, the good becomes evil. The Nevers then magically dress as good people and a great battle ensues. Sophie uses her strong magic to defeat the good men, despite Agatha begging her to stop the madness. At some point, Sophie leaves the tower and goes to Headmaster's tower, wanting to avenge him for putting her in the wrong school. The headmaster turns out to be Raffle, disguising himself all alone. He kisses Sophie, offering her a place to be his queen and ruling over the school with true evil. Sophie realizes his intentions and begs him to stop, as she does not want to hurt her friends. Agatha appears to debunk Raffle's claim that Sophie has been left alone. Raffle uses the Storian's quill to stab Agatha, but Sophie takes her place instead. With her dying, the balance between good and evil is restored. Tedros sneaks up behind Raffle to defeat him, but he easily overpowers him. With her dying powers, Sophie moves the Excalibur, Tedros' sword, so Agatha can use it against Raffle, effectively killing him. Sophie dies in Agatha's arms, but their love is so strong that when Agatha kisses her, she revives. The school is restored back to its balance. The deans agree to unite the school and not treat good and evil separately. The students embrace each other. As for Sophie and Agatha, they unlock a portal to come home to Gavaldon. Although Sophie tells Agatha she can stay in the school with Tedros if she wants to, Agatha wants to stay with her best friend. They come home and are embraced by each of their families. Sometime later, they are still mocked by the villagers, but they use their magical powers to prank the villagers. A portal opens and Tedros' arrow flies through, sending them a message that it is only just the beginning. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.